So I am on a quest to get the Platinum Trophy in as many superhero games as possible, and in today's video we are getting the Platinum Trophy in arguably one of the best superhero games ever made, and that is... Originally released to the PlayStation 5 in October of 2023, Spider-Man 2 is one of my all-time favourite superhero games. Developed by Insomniac Games, it is a sequel to the original Spider-Man and then the spin-off Miles Morales. We have a total of 43 trophies to collect in order to get the Platinum Trophy, and it is rated at a 3 out of 10 for difficulty, requires one playthrough, and will take approximately 25 hours to complete. It is a super easy Platinum Trophy, being divided up only into 2 stages where you'll play through the story and just collect every trophy that you get along the way, and then stage 2 will be cleaning up anything that you have missed. We have no missable trophies, however there are a few collectible related trophies, but in my opinion this is one of the best Platinum Trophies I've ever gotten, so let's get into our Platinum Trophy journey. So the game begins with us meeting Peter and Miles again and throws us straight into the action. Sandman is attacking the city and it is our job to try and stop him before he hurts anyone.
Must be more of a Pilates guy.
The pair successfully stop Sandman and apprehend him and send him back to prison where he belongs. The game then returns to 6 months beforehand, and here we get to meet the main villain of the game, Kraven the Hunter. Kraven is a hunter as his name suggests, however he enjoys hunting superheroes and metahumans. Kraven is bored of his current hunts, however one of his team members shows him the location of New York, and here he sees all of the evil villains and superheroes and decides that this will be his new hunting ground. This then completes the introduction of the game and pops us our very first trophy. You're gonna need help. Complete surface tension. We then return back to the present time, and Peter and Miles help to clean up the city post the Sandman fight, and here is where we then get introduced to the 2 different arcs of the Spider-Man story. The first arc focuses on Peter and his emotional turmoil that he is facing following the loss of Aunt May and also his friends. And then the next arc focuses on Miles and his growth into becoming a more mature Spider-Man. And so after this little introduction, we then return to play as Peter, and here we get introduced to a lot of the little side quests and abilities that we can use throughout the game, and we pop our next trophy for equipping a suit style. Jaden, it's out tomorrow though. Stylish. Equip a suit style. We then return home to NJ to continue unpacking the house, however an unexpected visitor arrives. Harry has returned from Europe following his treatment that he was receiving for his condition, and then Peter and Harry hang out and reminisce on their past times at high school. Meanwhile, in the background, as everyone is going about their business, Kraven has arrived in New York City, and he is determined to hunt down every single person. We then return to Miles to find him absolutely excelling at life, applying for college, and just smashing all of his life goals and excelling as Spider-Man. And this is pretty much how the rest of the story goes. We switch between Peter and Miles exploring their different character developments and playing along together when we have major boss fights. And so our very first mission occurs together, and here we arrive at the raft in order to oversee the transfers of Scorpion and Martin Lee. Oh, it's our guy. Here he is. However, Kraven and his group roll in and create absolute havoc. And here is where Miles and Peter get their first taste of the Hunter. Peter and Miles try their absolute hardest to stop Kraven, however he successfully captures Martin Lee and Scorpion, and then the group have to figure out what they're going to do about Kraven.
Who are those guys? Whoever they are, they're packing some serious tech.
Hey Gamer Boy,
Now
thanks
they
for the
got all
follow.
that, plus Scorpion
Crusty
and Lee.
toenail. So with the main story now set in motion, we can then play the game however we want and make our way around New York City. Now just like in the previous Spider-Man games, there are a whole heap of side quests and collectibles to do, and I pretty much chipped away at these as I was moving through missions. But basically these side quests involve picking up these sand rocks, taking pictures, and also retrieving hidden messages. And while completing some of these side quests, I literally stumbled upon my 3rd trophy. Splat. Attempt and fail a trick before landing on the ground. We then return as Peter, and here we meet Harry in the city at the startup foundation that him and Harry are going to work on in order to make the world a better place. Harry came up with the name the Emily May Foundation and wants Peter to help him out here working on billions of projects. And of course, Peter agrees. After leaving the Emily May Foundation, Miles lets Peter know that he believes that a group of Craven soldiers are hiding out near the bridge. And whilst they might not be there, they are hiding in plain sight. And after defeating all of the soldiers at the outpost, Peter then tracks one of the flying birds to a new location, and here he finds one of the hunters' outposts. After defeating all of the members at the outpost, Peter then uses the tracking device on the bird and finds the location of a base. After successfully infiltrating the base, Peter then finds a console that has footage of Craven fighting all of the villains that he has captured so far and killing them.
They said you were a killer. Imagine my disappointment.
Peter then finds a whole heap of information on the people that Craven plans to target next, and so he is off to save them. We arrive back at the Emily May Foundation to find Dr. Connors missing. And here is where we probably had the most surprising moment in the game, where we get to play as MJ as she tries to find Dr. Connors. I actually felt like this was such a refreshing change to have a bit of a stealth component here with good old MJ, and we sneak our way into one of the bases and find the location of Dr. Connors. MJ successfully manages to find the keys and the code to the cage and gets in to save Dr. Connors. However, Craven appears.
You know this beast.
Craven injects Dr. Connors with a serum that will turn him into the lizard. MJ tries to stop Craven, however is unsuccessful, and then Harry and Peter appear. Dr. Connors and MJ race to find the serum that will stop him from turning into the lizard, however, they are unsuccessful.
I'm sorry.
Peter then appears and tries to fight off Craven, however, he is defeated and is on the brink of death. As Peter lays there dying, the symbiote from Harry's suit then transfers over to Peter's body and heals him completely. With the transfer complete, Peter then revives himself and defeats the remaining enemies, and the group escape. However, there is one small issue. The symbiote suit is what was keeping Harry alive, and it is now transferred to Peter, and he has no idea how to transfer it back. A new suit. Acquire the black suit. Peter then infiltrates a dinner that is organised for all of Craven's highest officers, and here he gets to figure out the abilities of the new black suit. The black suit is honestly just so amazing, and the abilities and the strength that it has is just so fun, and I feel like this is honestly the best suit that has ever been introduced to a Spider-Man game ever. Peter finds some information on Craven's past, however nothing that really helps him defeat him. However, Craven does figure out that the symbiote suit is weak against sound.
We'll finish this later. My final hunt.
Craven's hunters follow Spider-Man back to the Emily May Foundation, and here they attack Peter and Harry and destroy the entire building.
Oh no.
Harry is distraught at the fact that his dream has now been completely burnt down. However, he gives Peter the serum and off he goes to find Dr. Connors. Now, while Peter is out hunting the lizard, Miles has been off also completing his own quests. Most of these quests are just completing miscellaneous tasks and then helping his mum Rio out in her election campaign for Harlem. Now, whilst these quests were pretty easy, I feel like they didn't really serve a major part in the story and just felt like a bit of a time filler in order to make the game a little bit longer. My community, complete hard bop. Peter then finds one of Dr. Connor's labs underground, and here we have to fight him. Sick, good. I like a good boss fight.
Hey, Doc.
Oh my god, have a look at him.
Annual physical?
Peter successfully defeats the lizard and gives him the serum that transforms him back into Dr. Connors and then helps us to figure out what is going on with our suit and how we can transfer it back to Harry. And when trying to figure out a way to get the suit off Peter and give it back to Harry, we get to see the true Venom appear.
It makes me a better Spider-Man.
Mom and Dad. Medicine. Complete. It chose you. Peter then turns rogue in the Venom suit and Miles chases after them. However, the pair are ambushed by Kraven and his hunters. Peter escapes, however Miles is captured. We've lost Miles. Peter has no recollection of the events from last night and doesn't realize that Miles is missing, so he arrives at his mother's office to figure out what is going on. Rio then tells Peter that he has been missing and hasn't heard from him overnight. Miles wakes up and finds himself trapped in a prison, however he manages to escape and then arrives in an arena, and here he has to fight his greatest enemy, Martin Lee.
There's no escape.
Oh no, of course.
I tried.
Kraven makes the pair have a fight to the death, and after defeating Martin Lee, we enter a new dimension. In this new dimension, Martin Lee plays with Miles' mind in order to try to trick him and scare him. We then have to fight off waves and waves of enemies and then eventually confront Martin Lee, and we popped another trophy in this process.
Davis was a hero who saved
Overdrive. As Miles, use reverse flux to pull 6 or more enemies together simultaneously. Miles, however, lets go of his anger in the dream state and then helps Martin Lee to escape and tells him to find Spider-Man.
Do not let them escape.
Another way. Complete no escape. Peter then finds Martin Lee, who tells him that Miles has been captured at a mansion east of the city by Kraven. Peter then storms the mansion, however Kraven captures him, and here we have our very first fight against Kraven the Hunter. Here we go. Oh my god, I'm finally up to fighting Kraven. As Venom and Peter defeat Kraven, Miles comes out of nowhere and stops Peter from completely killing Kraven. Not Miles. Uh-oh.
Sorry about that.
We then switch back to Miles, and here we have to fight Venom or Peter and get him out of the suit. Using the bells and then his newfound electrical powers, Miles eventually breaks Venom and Peter rips the suit off of him. Here we go. Spidey. Yes, Miles. Legend.
Does anyone have an extra Moana?
For that. Oh, there we go. The Great Hunt. Complete. Anything can be broken. So with Venom captured, Peter now has to return the suit in order to get Harry's health back. However, I stopped and completed Howard's side quest, and if you know how sad this is, you know. A new adventure. Help Howard. Peter returns to Oscorp with Venom. However, he tells Harry that they need to destroy the symbiote. Harry is, however, enraged with this and believes that Peter wants him to die, and while trying to hit him with the cane, he accidentally breaks the glass that Venom is trapped in, and he escapes and returns to Harry. Don't do it, Harry. And here is where we get to see Venom for the first time and the infamous tongue. Hayden, And in a surprising twist, we then get to play as Venom, and this was honestly probably the most fun I had in the game. And Craven appears in order to complete his final hunt. However, we defeat him and bite off his head. We'll come out of the suit, probably. Uh-oh.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
It wants to die.
What the hell? I did not expect that at all. What the heck? Okay, I did not expect that at all. Leave us alone. Complete, don't be scared. After defeating Craven, Harry and Venom then go to Peter and MJ's house and confront the pair. Venom then converts MJ into Scream, and here is our next boss fight. Oh my god, what is this? Oh, is he just giving her a suit? Oh my god. Peter successfully defeats Scream and gets MJ back. However, Venom is nowhere to be found. Come on. Yes. There we go. Go, Pete. I quit. Complete, this isn't you. While trying to confront Venom, Peter is overwhelmed by a whole host of symbiotes, and Miles and Martin Lee save him. However, they enter into Peter's conscience and help him unlock his new abilities, and this allows him to produce the anti-Venom suit. The anti-Venom suit, as its name suggests, obviously combats all of Venom's abilities, and here we popped our next trophy. Antidote. Defeat a symbiote that is under the effect of anti-Venom status. After destroying all of the symbiote-ness, we then find Venom at Oscorp, and he has gathered the 2 asteroid rocks and turned New York into his own symbiote hunting ground. In order to destroy the ever-growing symbiotes, MJ has to go underground and find the 2 meteorites while Peter and Miles distract Venom.
She's kind of OP.
Alright, here we go. With MJ now in possession of the asteroid, Venom is now significantly weaker and his spawn is dying. And in typical fashion, Peter and Harry have to fight each other in the place that they became best friends.
This is where we became best friends.
I can't take Venom seriously when he says stuff like that.
Now it's where we become brothers.
The fight with Venom doesn't go well, and he is about to defeat Peter when he realizes that he no longer has the asteroid.
The meteorite. You took it from us.
You took it from us. Venom then becomes enraged and spawns into a Mega Venom. Miles and Pete successfully fight Venom and attack him while MJ loads the meteorite into the electron microscope. They then blow the meteorite up, and this destroys Venom once and for all. In the process of destroying Venom, Harry becomes extremely weak and his chances of survival are extremely slim. And here we get to see Norman Osborn's true personality come out. The group then settle together and have a lunch, and here Miles tells Peter that he'll always be there for him and he's ready to take over as the main Spider-Man. Yeah. Your eyes, children, yep. Heal the world. Finish the main story. So with the story finished, I basically had all side quests and collectibles still to go. I did a few of these as I was playing, but because I played the game when it first came out, I wanted to get the story done as quick as possible to avoid any spoilers in my stream. And if I'm being 100% honest, I definitely felt like this took away from the experience of the game, as I had a very, very big grind to complete here at the end. So my first goal was to get all of the side missions done and then chip away at the collectibles. Now, a lot of these side missions don't actually have any substance to the story, but just pick up on previous characters in the games which you can meet and help them do things and complete certain challenges. They are also a good area to farm some combat related trophies, so definitely follow along with the guide and figure out where you can get certain trophies to make your playthrough as easy as possible. And so the very first trophy I got in the cleanup was Crimson Flower, and that was for completing the Flame side missions and helping out Wraith. Crimson Hour. Complete. It was meant for me. Our next trophy, which was just like in the first 2 games, was for visiting Aunt May's grave. Alright, trophy.
Parker Luck's back with a vengeance.
You know what to do. As Peter, visit Aunt May's grave. And so my next 4 trophies were then all related to side quests before I decided to pivot and complete all of the collectibles. To the max. Purchase all gadget upgrades. Slack line. Stealth takedown 25 enemies in stealth from the web line. Missile popper surge. Use symbiote powers 25 times during symbiote surge.
Hunters.
Resourceful. Collect a total of 10,000 tech parts. Cool.
Still.
Just let go. As Miles found the science trophy, Miles and Finn won together. Yeah, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Complete all FNSM requests. Now, all the side quests were basically completed, and at this stage of the game, all I had left was to get all of the collectibles and a few combat-related trophies. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest about this game, the only critique I have is that there are way too many collectibles that you need to get in order to complete the Platinum Trophy. We did it. Exterminator. Complete all symbiote nests.
Visions is the best.
Brooklyn Pride. Complete a gift. Alright. Amazing. Reach max level. Cool. Seek and destroy. Complete all hunter bases. Grains of sand. Piece together broken memories. A lot of these collectibles and side quests honestly just felt like time fillers, which I think is what they tried to do due to the fact that the story was so short. As you can see, I'd already reached max level and I still have around 15 trophies left to go and had barely touched a lot of the collectibles. You just go through IDMS it with speed. I will. Foundational. Complete all EMF experiments.
And Parker does it all.
Home run around the bases at the Big Apple Ballers Stadium.
The home run bunt.
New York, New York. Complete all photo ops. Opus. Superior. 100% complete all districts. New. Funky wireless protocol. Solve the mystery of the Spider-Bot's origins. Data collector. Complete target identified. And fully loaded. Purchase all of Spider-Man's suit tech upgrades. And our last 5 trophies again followed in a very similar fashion, just fixing up a couple of collectibles with a few miscellaneous trophies tied along, and then we got our next Platinum Trophy. Co-signing. Complete all tech stashes. Got a partnership with others. Behind the Mask. Complete grand finale. Kitted out. Purchase all available suits. There we go. Hang 10. Perform 30 air tricks in a row without touching the ground. Perfect. Hey, evolved. There we go. Defeat 100 enemies with evolved Venom abilities. Saw. Okay, hold up. Now, the Platinum for Spider-Man 2 is absolutely amazing and the story was great. However, I did find the collectibles rather tedious and I feel like they were just added in the game to fill time in order to make it feel a little bit more worth the amount of money that you paid for it. Overall though, I would definitely recommend this, and if you haven't got the Spider-Man 2 Platinum, it's definitely one that you need to add to your list, particularly if you are new to trophy hunting. If you've made it this far in the video, please leave a comment below on what your favourite superhero game is, and thank you all for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.